Peace and love, you guys. Salute. Salute, everyone. I just wanted to offshoot the topic of the previous commentary, yesterday's commentary, about Boots Ennis and this entire upheaval that's been caused surrounding the allegations that he is ducking and that, he doesn't want smoke and all of the tirades that I see people going on, even people within the boxing community themselves. And I just want to, expound upon these particular thoughts and perceptions and extend some further commentary, some further sentiments that I have regarding the spiral that is present between this entire situation and dynamic. As mentioned yesterday, it definitely looks weird that supposedly, from the standpoint that we had yesterday, Eddie Hearn and Boots Ennis seem to be speaking two different languages as far as their goals and their movements and the projections that they had for Boots's career. Boots having, of course, made it known publicly for some time that he had the goal of becoming undisputed. And while we have, on the other hand, Eddie Hearn resolutely seeming to be set on having Boots take on the 154 division. And I wanted to open up some further discussion about this with my good people, because I see that I've gotten some varying perspectives in the comment section, different aspects that you guys touched on, and also just the general dynamic that I've been seeing across social media that appears to have people galvanized all over boxing Twitter. I mean, you guys, the things that I've been coming across Twitter, like people's feelings are really involved in this. People are emotional about this and just kind of, up in arms. It's crazy all across social media. So I see that there are people with quite stirred up feelings about the whole thing. And I wanted to, divulge a little bit further concerning it all. Now, let's just start here. I'm not certain if you guys have seen that last evening. Boots took to his Twitter. He took to his social media account and he posted a statement on his Instagram, his Twitter, and stuff like that. And he posted the statement regarding all of the rumblings that have been going on. And Boots said this. He said, quote, "I seen the rumors on social media just like y'all did. As far as the fight with me and Virgil, I was unaware that alleged negotiations were being made on my end. From here on out, if it did not come from me and me only, don't believe it. And I will address if I'm staying at 47 or moving up to 54 at a later date and time," end quote. Now, this is touching on some of the concepts that I shared in the previous video, right? Where I stated, that the automatic assumption that people had and the automatic claim that people gravitated to and chose to run with, that Boots is supposedly ducking, was coming by no means at all of any valid proof besides posts made by random people on social media. You know what I'm saying? Far too many people were eager and ready to accept the rhetoric with all types of alacrity, right? No confirmation was needed. No interview was had on deck to show as proof as an interview and to back up the claims. Nothing. People just took it and ran with it as far as they wanted to. Now, according to the horse's mouth, Boots had no part or awareness of negotiations with Ortiz, like official certified negotiations, okay? So how the fuck can he duck something that he isn't in official talks with or he hasn't set in motion to get? This is the problem that is rampant in boxing right now and has been for some time. Too many goddamn man fans are out here clucking like hens and running rumors like little schoolgirls or something. All that chatter, and for what? Now look, you're silenced by the man himself, okay? Stop bopping your gums prematurely. Just like how y'all say that, people prematurely accredited and gave credence to Boots before he's proven. Well, before it was proven, the evidence Don't go bopping your gums and making false pretenses about something that you know nothing about and drawing conclusions that do not exist. Negotiations means that two parties, or however many parties involved, are expounding upon a set of terms that they both aim to have an amicable agreement with. They want to make an amicable decision and have an amicable partnership to come to an agreement to solidify a deal that would benefit each party involved. Okay, that is the process of a negotiation. The individuals involved are making it clear, making the intentions known, what is expected, what the desire is, and the aim is to get as near to that as possible. Okay, the closer you can get to that aim of each individual or whatever parties are involved, the better the chances of that negotiation being favorable and being brought to fruition, most importantly. Okay. Now, according to Boots, this process was not in motion between his team and the Ortiz team. Now, additionally, Eddie Hearn came out and he also elaborated upon the contents of the room and addressed the rumor. And he stated the fact that no negotiations were had. Okay, so he basically backed up Boots's claim. Okay, and he also shared that an offer was instead given to them by the Ortiz team where they suggested a potential fight with Boots at 147. Okay, they suggested that, hey, maybe we could fight Boots at 147. This is the Ortiz team, right? And they subsequently revoked and retracted that initial suggestion and instead said that the fight should be at 154. Okay, that they preferred 154 instead and not 147. So they revoked the initial offer. Now, Boots, as we know, hasn't yet decided if he'd rather achieve unification or undisputed at 47. This is what he is still contemplating with he and his team and whoever and all of the people and parties involved on his end. He hasn't yet made up his mind. At least he hasn't publicly confirmed anything as of yet. And according to himself and according to Eddie Hearn, no official decision has been made as of yet. That is still pending. So the fact that he is still contemplating his decision, this is what got these people out here mad and crazy and wild out here like this. Because he is still thinking about what he is going to do. Because he is still weighing options. This what got y'all mad and panties in a bunch and calling him all types of ducks. Moreover, why did Team Ortiz or whoever was that made the suggestion, initially posit that the fight should be at 147 only to revoke and change course and say, oh, no, 154. What? Let's not forget that this fight would just be a mere fight, okay? If he fought at 154 against Virgil. It's just a fight. Not that it isn't a good fight, because it would certainly be entertaining, but it isn't for any hard wear, okay? So Ortiz saying that Boots needs to move up to 54 to fight him is kind of like, okay, sir, but I'm the champ, okay? I'm the champion. I'm the one with the belt. So I'm the A side. Am I lying or not? Is Boots not the A side in this situation, y'all? He's the champion. What hardware does Ortiz have? Last time I checked, he ain't a world champion on nobody's list. No belt around his waist. Okay? So the fact that cats are out here acting like Boots fighting Virgil is going to be the opportunity of a lifetime for Boots is really absolutely mind-blowing for me. Like, oh, you better take the opportunity or jump at the chance, Boots. Grab it with both hands. As if Virgil got something to goddamn offer Boots. As far as hardware. You know what I mean? Like, Boots is the one that is the champion in this situation. This is what people are bypassing with this particular type of logic that seeks to call and deem Boots a duck for whatever reason. This is exactly what they are bypassing. They are speaking as if Virgil is offering the opportunity to Boots. They are speaking as if Virgil is a world champion. Okay, he's a hell of a fighter. He's a damn good fighter. Okay, but let's not forget that you guys were just tarnishing that man's name and credibility because of his last performance, Virgil Ortiz. Now all of a sudden, he's the goat's motherfucking milk for Boots Ennis, and Boots is ducking him as if he's running the town? What's going on? These bandwagon riders are out of control. Because that's exactly what is at hand. That's exactly who is pumping and pushing this narrative are the bandwagon riders, the band fans. Doesn't matter whose fan they intend to be, as long as they can stand in opposition to whatever figure they want to berate or derail at a particular time. That is the going direction that they will sway in. And for whatever reason, at this particular juncture, it is Boots Ennis. Boots Ennis has come across his time to get his lashings for whatever reason. And I'll divulge a little bit more as far as, the line of men who have been castigated recently. But yes, people are now, having the assumption that Boots needs to weigh, isn't fighting Virgil Ortiz worth more than becoming a unified champion at 47? Isn't he worth more than your goal of being undisputed? Like, what the hell? How the hell did Virgil overnight become the measuring stick to one's legacy and greatness? Like, it's wild to me. It's really blowing mine with that logic. Virgil isn't the end all be all, okay? Actually, there's an IBF champion at 54 that Boots can go after, whose head he can claim. Real talk, if you want to really get into this shit, okay? Boots can leverage his belt and get the IBF champ. He can get the head of the champ with the IBF belt at 54. Okay, we've seen that done time and time again with fighters. Who the fuck is Virgil Ortiz to a world champion? So who's to say that Boots isn't thinking about that and considering that particular option instead for 54? Like, you feel me? They're spinning these rumors and none of them are privy to anything that Boots may be pondering or considering or observing or plotting behind the scenes concerning his decisions about 54 and what is liable to make him move up versus what is liable to make him stay. He's weighing his options, as he made very, very clear. He substantiated that in his post. If he decides to go to 54, he will go and he will make it known what he intends to do. Since when do we suspect this man of not making decisions and following up with the announcements about his plans? What is all of this suspicion about? Oh, Boots, are you ducking? Are you scared? Why you ain't telling nobody? Ooh, you lying. Oh, Eddie said this. God damn. The sassiness is out of control out here. Motherfuckers can't even decide what they're going to do before y'all start making up and conjuring up your own goddamn realities to run with. Don't matter if it's true. Don't matter if it's not true. You just hauling ass with your own goddamn assumptions. It's weird. Now, I want to get into another recurrent theme that I see very, very, very consistently in boxing at the moment. And it's the fact that there is a public upbraiding, reproofing, and censuring of particular Black fighters of note. Okay? A censuring, a public censuring. And with that, there is an insidious attempt through this censuring and reproofing that aims to detract from the credibility of these particular skilled fighters who are the target, okay? Where one move that they make, however menial or however grandiose, okay, one move that they make stands to threaten and derail their entire careers based on the perceptions that are put out there against them by varying assortments of media outlets. I want you to think about this, okay? Now, are any of these fighters perfect? No, none of these fighters are perfect. None of them have it all figured out, right? Missteps, misjudgments happen across the board with any fighter. You can take your pick, right? However, to soil a fighter's entire future and stifle their progress and potential for progress and success by way of rumors and false pretenses or because of a single performance that they may have had is absolutely insane to me. But that seems to be the case consistently against particularly young Black fighters that we see today. Okay, for example, we saw this with Devin Haney, right? There was a bounty pretty much on that young king's head. Okay, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. When he fought, let's say, Lomachenko, okay? And where he beat Lomachenko dominantly, yet it was deemed unimpressive. It was deemed, he didn't really win, or no, he shouldn't have won the fight and he robbed Lomachenko, blah, 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 right? Narrative put out there and spun by media that he should not have won that particular fight, basically dampening Devin's achievement and obvious victory, okay? We saw it again with Devin Haney concerning the whole charade and fiasco with racist Ryan Garcia. Okay? Devin was made the blame of an unjust situation onto him, committed against him by Ryan's cheating. And somehow media spun a web and had fanboys the world over in their lust at seeing the downfall of Devin Haney, right? There was an opportunity to take the lashings against him, and they absolutely ran with it. They castigated him. They called him a chump. They called him pillow fist. They said he can't fight. Oh, well, why you didn't duck the left hook? Every opportunity to subvert and reproach and denounce Devin's achievement was taken by these people. We saw it again with Shakur Stevenson, right? Shakur Stevenson stepped up now to get his lashings. He took some major castigation for his performance against De Los Santos, but the world hasn't let that man live that down yet, and that fight happened over a year ago, and he is still bound. He is still bound to being mocked by that performance. He had a fight against Artem a couple of months ago. Okay, he fought dominantly, had a dominant performance in my view. He was called out about that. In that performance, he fought on the front foot the entire night, and he was still lambasted. Still, okay? Still called boring. So much so that the world went from eating out of the palm of this man's hand, Shakur Stevenson, only 2 years ago. He was the bee's knees, to now being permanently tagged as a quote unquote boring fighter. Now we have Boots Ennis, another prominent, elite, young black male fighter, okay, who experienced a performance that received wide criticism, even though he won convincingly, in my view. He is now being relegated to being labeled a duck. And he's being labeled a duck for a fight that he wasn't even in negotiations officially for. Do y'all see the pattern here? 3 top elite black males who at the drop of a dime have seen the boxing public turn on them in an instant. And it didn't take much for it to happen. And this is not to say that, these men have done nothing wrong ever, in their business moves or, their decisions or during performances. That is not to say that at all, okay? This is simply drawing comparisons to what appears to be an ever-present trend, one that is seeking to diminish and tarnish the movement and progress of particular fighters within the public's mind. I've gone into this aspect, via several videos of mine and my commentary and stuff like that. As you know, boxing stands alone in the way that it admonishes its sportsmen. Okay. In no other sport does, one performance of an athlete automatically denote, their end and demise within the sport. It's just weird. Boots getting heat for his last performance, automatically sets the stage now for him to be rated as a fighter and called a duck for a situation that hasn't even been, confirmed. Likewise, Shakur Stevenson has one lackluster performance that was definitely less than spectacular, less than anything that we would want to see again, no doubt about that. But he is forever doomed now because of a performance that happened over a year ago. Meanwhile, Barrios got goddamn blasted in that ring, beat up all about the head, and pretty much lost that fight, one could say. You know what I'm saying? Convincingly, all bludgeoned up, face all swollen, and nobody has a problem with that. But we're ready to drop some of our most promising fighters at the drop of a dime for what again? People out here wanting to talk to me about prematurely giving Boots their adulation, before he's proven as a fighter and stuff like that, but aren't worried about prematurely ending the progress of Boots and the rest of these elite black fighters who are out here catching heat. And for little more than assumptions and Twitter posts. You mean to tell me that you rather label Boots a duck, all for somebody he ain't ducking, rather than seeing him clear his path and reign in his division, whatever division he intends to fight within? I mean, what's the aim here? Are you guys trying to have boxing end with Bud and Canelo? That's where y'all want it to stop? Y'all don't want to see the future of boxing being passed on within these young men who can walk on that particular path and continue the line into the next 20 years, 25 years, 50 years? What's really going on with the shutting down and shutting out of fighters over the most trivial accusations and assumptions? Y'all ain't out here going half as hard for the people actually out here ducking blatantly. Y'all ain't going half as hard for the people who are out here really doing the goddamn ducking. And this is bigger than simply liking or not liking a fighter. Okay. There are a handful of fighters that I do not rock with necessarily. Okay. But that doesn't mean that I wish ill of them or, ill of their path to achieving whatever legacy they set out to achieve. That's not it for me at all. That's not where I stand. If they are serious and passionate about the sport and they respect the sport just like I do, and I expect fighters to respect the sport, then I can only give them my respect. No matter what my, personal opinion of them may be, they're going to get my respect. You won't find me standing in their way. Go get that. I'm in support of that. I'm about the supremacy and the esteem of the sport. Any fighter who upholds that with integrity will be deemed worthy by me. They will be deemed a warrior by me and have my respect, But there are people out here who don't operate on that particular type of concept or stand on that particular type of business. These people out here with their little rumors and throwing stones and hiding, all of this is to dwindle the relevancy and value of a fighter. And I don't like that. Nothing about these rumors are elevating the sport. You got people like Tim Bradley out here talk about duck soup, out here just running in front of his camera, just salivating at the mouth, ready to call Boots a duck publicly. I know you rock with Team Bud and all of that shit, but come on, bro, you thirsty. He can't wait to say, see, look, y'all, Boots ain't what y'all thought. You see, he ain't that type of dude. What type of sassy, chatty patty shit is this? And it really makes me wonder how many of you motherfuckers was really sitting on the sidelines this whole time, just ready, to throw stones at Boots Ennis because you guys considered him a threat to Bud or to whatever. And you took the opportunity of using his last performance as an excuse to throw those types of stones. And subsequently are now making a meal of this whole Ortiz alleged ducking situation, to validate, a sense of unworthiness that you were not claiming Boots to be a year or two ago. It's just absolutely insane to me. People saw a post or two circulating on Twitter and took it more to heart than a goddamn Bible scripture, you guys. It's crazy, how the assumptions, are pontificated as truth. We got to be careful about what we take in on social media. Boots said it plainly. He substantiated for everyone. Listen, if it did not come from me, don't believe it. And don't believe it until it comes from me. Pretty much like the old song goes, do nothing till you hear from me. You know what I mean? Like, don't ask my neighbors out here. Like, so it's like, that's definitely one aspect of it. But, we also have to remember that we have elite black male warriors out here who are dominating and who stand to dominate moving forward the sport of boxing. And we have people out here that have all types of agendas, people who look like us, people who don't look like us, who aren't working in our best interest and don't want to see too much black in dominating positions, if you will. It's like the Trojan horse effect, You got them thinking that it's one thing and it's completely a cover up for a more insidious agenda at play. If we allow them to get away with targeting and picking off the most elite of fighters that we have, then what's going to be left if they become successful at denouncing them and dethroning them? Sounds to me like that will be the end of boxing as we know it. Anyway, moral of the story, don't be so quick to spin around in rumors, ask questions, and wait for further information to be clarified before making any formative opinions. Oh, and also, stop hating on these young black men while you at it. Enough of the chatty patty shit. That's it for me, y'all. I'm on to the next. Peace.